What's this?
Oh, this is a museum. Oh, this is the coffee shop that I wanted to go. 와. Was it a menu?
get lost in your deep blue eyes, like a shell in the sea. I fall in love over and over when you're looking at me. I think about